We're back.
All right, let's do this. So
Yeah.
we are back in action. Just trying to bring. So what are we trying to do with this podcast, man? Like, are we trying to just like, are we trying to like reveal anything? Are we trying to give an insider's take? Or are we trying to help the general public kind of understand that maybe this industry is not quite as scary and there's not all these sleazy salespeople in our business that they may think? Or are we just trying to show them like, hey man, like it's not as scary as you think if you talk to the right people. I think what we said last time, like just have that conversation, man. You need to reach out to the right. Number one, you got to have the right people.
Yeah.
You got to reach out. You got to start that conversation. Doesn't mean you got to buy now. It could be for 6 months down the road, but you got to start those conversations. So what are we trying to do here with this?
I think all of the things that you mentioned are solid. I think that, man, you said a lot of stuff, and all of it, it all aligns with what I think we're trying to do. Because we're trying to get some insider information. Like, hey, you may not know this.
Right.
This industries may not be as scary as you think. Also, you need the right people around you. Well, some of those last two things maybe kind of contradict you a little bit, just because, okay, well, if it's not that scary and there's not that many sleazy people, then like, why does it really matter that I have the right people around me?
Yeah.
So like,
Good point.
think that, and I think that if we're going to apply this to any scope of people that are trying to listen, because everyone has their own perception of real estate, you need to understand that, yes, there are a ton of sleazy people in this industry still. There are people that don't tell you things that you need to know. They tell
mortgage side and the real estate side. 100%.
Mortgage side, real estate side, home inspection, title, home insurance, all of it.
Yeah.
Like if there's money to be made, this is just like any other industry.
Right.
There are people that are going to try and make money off
Greedy
of you,
ass fools.
not make money with you.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think,
I like that.
And that bleeds into, okay, so if there are these people here, well, that kind of makes it scary. It's less scary if you have the right people with you.
Right.
And I think we're trying to illuminate some of we're trying to bring the complexity of real estate down to the lowest common denominator. Yeah. So whether you've bought and sold 100 properties and you have rentals, or you're a savvy businessman or woman, like you can, or you're just, you graduated college, you're trying to get your first house, or you have recovering credit and you're in your, your golden era trying to get your retirement home. You can use some of the things that we're talking about
absolutely
to tailor your reality to you. So finding the person that has your best interest, that's rule number one. And that should be for anyone in real estate or for car shopping. Like I talk to people about this all the time whether it comes to like, ooh, what should I do? What do you think? You got to think about that for you. You need to, but when you start any process, you need to look at what a win looks like for you. Yeah. Whether it's this monthly payment or this much in your bank account or this type of equity long term. So I think that overall, all of our conversations are really going to talk about maybe some nuts and bolts of real estate, but also we're going to talk a little bit about the heart and soul of the industry, because that's going to give people a feel for, what path they maybe need to take, because there's so many different paths, and it is complex.
Yeah.
If you let this industry do what it wants, it will chew you up and spit you out.
Yeah.
It is an industry like any other. Like, you got to respect it.
Yeah.
You have to respect that there's money involved. These are people's livelihoods. It's their homes. It's their life savings. And agents need to take that mindset when they're working with people. So do mortgage brokers. So does everybody else. But more so than any of us, buyers and sellers need to take that mentality, whether it comes to self-education, self-seeking, understanding like what they actually want out of stuff, and being okay with the reality of their situation. And maybe the market that they're working in. Yeah. So
absolutely. So you're basically saying everybody, like we always say, it's a case by case, man.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, like, right? Everybody's scenario is a little different.
We hear this all the time. Like, the numbers have to make sense.
Yeah.
Like, and the numbers don't have to be dollars. They could be days. Yeah. They could be months. They could be, interest rates. Like like the numbers have to make sense for you.
Yeah.
And so, you just kind of have to keep in mind that, you gotta
Yeah.
You got to respect the game a little
Yeah,
bit.
and I think you brought up a good point too, because you said whether you're, buying your second or third or fourth or move up house,
Yeah.
or you're an investor who's bought multiple houses.
Yeah.
Like I think maybe somebody watching or listening to this might say, "Oh man, this I already know. I've done this before. I don't. This is for first time home buyers. Like this information." I don't think that's true, right?
No.
Like because I know people that have bought multiple homes. I've had clients who bought multiple homes before they met me, and then they did it. Then I worked with them, and they said, "You know what? Nobody's ever explained any of that to me.
Yeah.
They've never went through any of this stuff." I've had investors who've bought multiple properties, and they're like, "Dude, nobody's explained any of that to me. How do I not know this by now?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, exactly, man. Like, so this is kind of what we're talking about, like just working with the right people and that's where that piece kind of comes in and
Yeah.
kind of put that into play. So I don't think that what we're talking about, what we're doing here is just only dedicated to first time home buyers. You know what I
No.
mean? Like, I
No.
think that it can be applicable and you can learn something.
Well, think
you
of
know.
how many people have been working with the same real estate agent for 10 years.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's
you know,
good because you know what? I heard a stat. You know what that stat is what was the number? So I think NAR puts this stat out there that 86% of people would work with the same real estate agent they used on the last transaction, but only 14% did or something like that. It's something crazy low, which tells you what? Like
who's not following up?
Exactly.
Yeah. Who's not
That's what's happening, dude.
who's not checking in?
Right.
Who's not?
That's what's happening.
And I think about that if I miss a follow up or if I
miss
I'm
them all
not-
the time. I try to stay in
Yeah.
touch with my clients. Most mortgage people, we're the same. We're just as bad at it.
Well, I think about this because obviously we're through our consult process and all of our
Yeah.
transactional work and how we work with our people. Like we try to really present like we're here for you. You know,
Right.
we're not just here for the transaction. Like if you need help with
Right.
something, we're local. Like we'll give you a
Yep.
hand. We maybe got a guy. But if I maybe miss a follow up or I don't check in,
Yeah.
see how they're doing, I'm just like, damn. They probably think that I just was like, see you, dude.
I know.
You know,
I know.
and so I'm always like trying to make sure I'm on it.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Um,
got to make that a point. And I want people to know, like, dude, I'm a resource. Even if I can't, even if I don't know the right answer or like maybe I can help point you in the right direction. Like
Yeah.
I just want to be a resource for you at some point afterwards.
Yeah.
And it's, dude, we're working. It's a low, like for me, we're not national. You're not a national real estate agent. I'm not a national lender. We're working in our local market. When I say
Yeah.
local, for the most part, the Hardin County surrounding area, but we
Central
work in
Kentucky.
Kentucky,
Yeah. Yeah.
Louisville, Bowling Green, Lexington. We're working in all those markets. And like, I'm going to be in these markets. We live, work, and play in these markets.
Yeah.
I want to be able to I want to know that I'm helping people in my community. And you know what I mean? Like, like I know as cheesy and corny as that can sound sometimes, like it is really true, man. Like I have to do that that's the only way that I can get some like complete job satisfaction.
Well, that's
if I'm
what-
going to spend my entire life doing this job.
We talked about this
know.
first episode. Like, why do we do what we do?
Yeah.
You know, like you came from college to finance. It seems
Yeah.
like, that's
Yeah.
kind of been your game. I came
Yeah.
from the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
And so I had to figure out how I was going to hang up my boots and, put on regular people clothes
Right.
and walk into houses, work in a female dominated industry.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. But
Yeah.
I mean, I was like a 90% dude dominated, like very masculine,
Right.
it was the Marine Corps,
Complete,
and
yeah,
like
180.
how am I going to like adapt to this career?
Right.
And I had to take the same aspects of service that I
Yeah.
had in the military. And it's like, okay, the military worked for me because you're giving of yourself to something
Yeah.
bigger. Well, in the real estate game, a lot of it's me, me, me.
Right.
Well, I can make it about everybody else.
Yeah.
I can make every transaction about everybody else. It's about a win for my clients.
Yeah.
And so that's what we like to take into our little
Yeah.
like secret sauce is that like this is like we legitimately care.
Yeah.
And I think that it's not
And they
easy
should
to
know
find.
that after the transaction. Because here's the thing too, man. Like at the end of the day, like our business ultimately long-term sustainability, it's a referral-based business, man. Like that's a sustainable path, right? Like even if somebody hopped on Zillow, you met them through that, that's how you met them. Well, if you did a good job for
Meeting
them,
up with a stranger through Zillow.
yeah, you met up with a stranger through Zillow, like it was like Tinder for houses or something. You had a transaction, everything was good,
Except
but
it's like a lottery sometimes.
yeah, right, yeah,
Yeah.
could be. And but you want to do a good job and take care of them because at some point, like, we want to do a good job because that's who we are as people.
Yeah.
But also, like, hey, I want to do a good job because I hope that I do a good enough job that you're going to refer me to your friends, your family. Like, I have to. So there is some self-interest in there too. I'll admit that. Like, I want to do a good job because I do have to get some job satisfaction. Like, if I get a good review, like, I feel way better than, honestly, I feel inside better when I get a good review than I cash a paycheck from a deal close. You know what I mean? Because it's like, damn, dude, I did a good job.
They went and told everybody about it.
Yeah, well, it's just like, it's like that, when you're a kid and your parents tell you, good job, you know what I mean? Like, you just feel that you're like, all right, I did a good job. I worked my ass off to do a good job.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan's love language is words of affirmation.
Yeah, exactly. It is, man. I mean, no doubt. And then, of course, the selfish part of it, but it's selfish, but it helps you as the client, right?
Yeah.
If I want to give you a superior service, and the reason partly is because I want you to have a good experience, but I also want you to refer me to your friends, your family, your coworkers, everybody that you know. So I'm providing you that good service in hopes that you'll refer me to your friends and family, and I'm going to take care of your friends and family because I want them to also refer me. So it just keeps this, it's like a revolving door, and like it allows me to provide, it holds me to accountability, right?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm just some national lender, you call some, online lender to do a transaction for you. They don't care what kind of service you get, man. They're trying to close you. They want a paycheck.
No, you're getting harvested.
Yeah, you're a number, dude. Like,
you're the product.
Yeah, you're a product.
Yeah.
100%. They don't care nothing about you.
Speaking of product.
Yeah.
Speaking of product, you mentioned it earlier with connecting on Zillow.
Yes.
So
Zillow, we're gonna go there.
I kind of want to.
We're gonna go there, huh?
I kind of want to.
Okay, this could get a little juicy then.
Well, so you talked about going to like a big box company,
right,
and becoming the product and kind of getting harvested. So everyone knows how Zillow
harvested.
Yeah, it is. So like everyone knows what Zillow is.
Oh yeah,
no one,
household name now.
Yeah, no one knows how Zillow works.
Nobody knows how it works.
And so this is something to keep in mind for those of you, and we'll probably go a little bit nerdy on Zillow in the next couple of minutes, but everyone knows.
Has anybody ever asked, why is Zillow free?
Yeah, no. Well, that's like asking why Gmail is free.
Yeah, or why Google, as I was saying.
Yeah.
Like,
so, okay, so Zillow is a very large company, okay? And they have the Zillow website that you shop for homes on. That's not all the Zillow group owns. Okay, so for the realtors out there, they probably know this, but for people, we schedule showings through an app called Showing Time. And almost all of the MLSs use it. It's where it connects to the MLS and it lets you schedule stuff, right?
Yeah, it's a scheduling, a booking app, if you will.
Yeah. So Zillow owns that.
But they didn't initially.
No,
it was its own entity at one point.
They acquired Showing Time.
Right.
Trulia was a major competitor. So people are like, oh, I don't shop on Zillow. I shop on Trulia.
Right.
Guess what, homie?
Yeah.
Like Zillow owns Trulia.
They bought them too. Yeah, that's what you do. You buy. This is what these big companies do, man. They buy the competition.
Exactly. Then on top of that, so for some of the people that work in account management, a CRM, customer relationship management tool, it's an information tank.
Yeah.
A CRM
collects data.
Your data. It collects data. It organizes it.
Yep.
And it allows people to get contacted and scheduled and partitioned harvested in mass. And it also tracks activity as well. So one of the biggest CRMs in the industry, it's called Follow Up Boss. Zillow owns that too.
They didn't initially, though.
They acquired it. They also own HotPads. That's a little less known, but it's a big rental, platform. And so
another acquisition. That's also so they could foster potential home buyers, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So they foster potential home buyers, but also it's another like big time free product that people will put rentals on, and they will glean that information through. So Trulia and HotPads run people's information through Zillow proper, which is the mothership website, and it populates through as like Zillow Rentals. Okay, so they also have like a rental management, lease signing software, this whole thing. The transaction management tool that we use, it's for the form signatures.
Yeah.
Almost a huge part of the industry uses it. It's where everyone e-signs their forms,
Yep.
puts in their personal information for that too. It's called .loop. Zillow owns
Yeah.
that too.
Again, it
Another
was a separate
acquisition.
yeah.
Yep, they bought it out. So there's a lot of, and there's a few other companies that I'm forgetting, but
Yeah.
those are the big ones. So when you're logging onto
But
Zillow,
how did they get so big to have the money to buy these companies out?
well, when Zillow first started, it was a few marketing executives, I think from Microsoft and from, I think it was somewhere else. It was like Microsoft and somewhere else. But they got together and they noticed that there was no one-stop shop that connected to all the MLSs
Yeah.
that compiled all of the home listings and
PVAs
and-
connects to PVAs too. Yeah.
all of the information
Yeah.
and put it somewhere where people could shop for houses. And they're
Right.
like, oh, well, that's a really good idea. Obviously it was. And almost immediately after Zillow launched, one of their big hooks was the Zestimate,
Yeah.
because they wanted people to see their house on Zillow
Or their neighbor's house.
or their neighbor's house,
Yeah.
so they could shop around and see what everybody else's house is worth.
Right.
So they use an algorithm, which is in the industry called an AVM,
Yeah.
which is an automated valuation model, and it's
Yep.
usually they just pull numbers and
Yeah.
they spit out
calculation.
Yeah, it's a calculation and it's an estimate.
Yeah.
They branded the Zestimate. It's
Zesty.
very, I was just going to say that. Okay, so initial launch, hilarious numbers. Over the last 20 years, they have dialed it in, and in a lot of cases, it's not too far off.
It may be in more urban area, like more metro areas. I see it.
In
We
neighborhoods,
Yeah.
rural properties,
Yeah.
it's whack
way off.
because there's no
Rural
compar-
areas,
yeah.
The denser the population in the neighborhood count,
Yeah.
more data.
If you pull
you know.
if you pull a subdivision,
yeah,
unless there's a major
Similar
renovation
homes.
that's going on,
Right.
like it's not too far off.
yeah,
So, kind of cool, kind of weird, because there's a lot of like nowadays, there's a lot of like false faith in this
Right.
estimate, where someone will get on Zillow and be like, oh, I got on
That's the
Zillow,
problem.
said my house worth X amount of dollars.
yeah.
Um,
I think I've done a video on this a year or two ago about
Yeah.
this, because I was hearing all the chatter of what you're saying. I would talk to clients and be like, well, think about selling my house. I'm on here. His estimate says 400. So I think that's what I'm going to sell it for.
yeah.
And I'm like, whoa. So, but go ahead. I mean,
There's a scary amount of realtors that use this estimate as a basis for pricing. Just so you know, when you have an agent that is like, yeah, I comped it at about 400 grand. Cool.
Estimate.
They'll just say that, or like, yeah, I think about 400, and you'll be like, oh, okay, cool, let's do that. Versus like, hey, you got a home report? Show me the comps.
right.
Would you adjust for? And then
Go to Zillow.
a solid real estate agent is going to be like, yeah, here you go. Or the
Absolutely.
other one's going to be like, let me get back with you. Let
Yeah.
me send that over. And then like 10 minutes later, you see this cobbled together, thing. And so, yeah, so that's kind of like the basis of maybe like what Zillow is now and how they kind of operate. They have a very strong hold on a lot of corners of this industry.
Yeah.
Zillow also has what's called Zillow Home Loans, which is like your arch
Yeah.
nemesis. Because as people shop for homes,
Yeah,
they
it only
try
made sense from their business. I'm not gonna lie, like it's a smart move on their part.
diabolical.
Yeah,
How dare
absolutely.
they? Free market.
But if people really want, if they're really, like when you hear people say corporate America or these big companies are taking over, if you're
Bro,
playing
you're
into
literally
this,
on Zillow.
yeah,
What are you
exactly.
talking
That's
about?
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
So so I'm prepping all of that to say there's a very mainstream feature that so many, I think it's like 60% of the home buyers are finding their agent through Zillow or some stupid amount. It's a freakishly high amount.
60%.
I think so. I can't remember exactly what it was. I think 75 or 80% of them shop for their homes on Zillow, and
Yeah,
like
maybe
a very and not
I would
much
think
lower.
first and foremost would be referrals from friends and family. No, not anymore.
I don't think so. I think
Wow.
if we're I can't remember. I may be wrong in the number.
Yeah.
I could have been reading it wrong.
I could
but
see Zillow being second, but
Dude,
I would
it's-
think referral from friends and family
it's a stupid amount.
would be the first.
I think
but
I was very surprised when I read it.
yeah,
And the big thing
it's
is
saddening.
so anyone who goes and shops for a house on Zillow, like they're scrolling on Amazon,
Yeah.
right? you're going to see a button that says contact an agent or schedule a showing.
And you know how much money and time and psychologists they've put into trying to figure out the right button, the right placement.
Yeah.
Millions of dollars.
And so think Ryan Wheeler, never bought a house before in his life, just a regular guy who doesn't know really a whole lot about real estate. He saw a super cool house. He thinks he might be able to afford it because Zillow has this payment model that says like, yeah, this could be $1,500 a month. And you're like, son of a bitch, my rent's $1,500 a month.
Let's do this.
Let's try it out. So you hit contact an agent.
Click a button, super easy.
And it connects, it takes all your information, right? Because you have to make an account to go through that. So name, phone number, email. And so it takes that information and it sends it to the system, and the system sends it to an agent. Most people think they're contacting the listing agent, which they are not.
They're using that agent's listing as bait to create a lead in your data to sell that data to another agent that's not the person selling the house.
Exactly. And so the way Zillow has it in the back end, it has areas broken down by zip code, and they allow agents to purchase leads and by zip code. It's broken down by zip code. So for our zip code 42701, right? And there's market share. So the reason why they can collect money on this is because it's advertisement, and as you get higher ranked up, you get a share of the voice or share of the lead share.
Voice.
So they have like, so they do their analytics and they're like 42701, there's 30 leads a month. Cool. So they break it down into, your metrics and say you want to buy all 30 leads. So basically everything that comes through, it's X amount of dollars. Whether you get the calls or not, you have to pay that money every single month.
Right.
And they do these wicked promos where if you get locked into a contract, they give you promotional credits and stuff like that, where it is a whole nother secondary industry to take money from real estate agents because people are making so much money off of these leads.
Secondary, that's their primary, isn't it?
I can't remember.
That's their primary revenue generator. It was at some point.
It's got to be flex now.
Because years ago, I used to nerd out, man, and read their minutes, as their publicly traded company. I don't know about now, but years ago it was that way. That was their primary,
so they have some more probably higher caching revenue generators now based off of what they market to agents.
Okay.
Because they have like I can't remember.
They've gotten way more diverse with that stuff now.
Yeah.
I mean, they're smart business. I will give them that.
They make Zillow's purpose.
But consumers need to know, and this is why we're talking about
Zillow's purpose is to make money.
Yeah.
And it is a tool. And if you don't respect the game, you will be sucked in and you will become a product.
Yes.
So they will suck you in and connect you to a random agent, and they will say
that agent doesn't mean that agent is the best agent.
It doesn't mean they're bad. It doesn't mean they're great.
No, doesn't mean anything. They could be great.
They
it's
just
very possible.
happen to be purchasing leads in that zip code. They happen to be
the one who bought it. Yeah.
And then they have these cool things called Best of Agent Zillow badges, and they're like, wow, this agent's top performing in Zillow agents. And you're like, wow, this is a top agent. You know what the metrics are for a top agent on Zillow?
They paid the most?
No, it's not paid the most. It's they answered the calls the fastest. They said the word appointment enough times in the initial, I'm not kidding. They said the word appointment in the initial recorded call that they connected to on Zillow. They classified the lead with a set appointment in their record. So that they went from new lead to appointment set, which tells the system that you're working it.
Right.
And also there's a CSAT score where Zillow will sometimes take a metric, or they'll analyze the phone call as to how happy the person was on the phone with you. And I think there's another one. I think
this is using AI, I presume.
Yeah. Yeah, it's AI. And I think there's a answer rate, and I think there's like a close rate. Yeah. Those are the top agents. It has nothing to do
So if you're a consumer listening to this, just think this is what you are. Like, you are being sucked into this system, right? To this monster.
You're a metric.
Yeah.
And
you're a number.
Yeah, 100%. And so, and when you're just a dude trying to find a house.
Right.
Okay, so you hit your contact agent button. So first off,
and now you are the product.
Yeah, without warning, they just start emailing you, spamming you, and they give your personal information to a stranger.
Yeah.
And so that person is going to call and call and call and email and email and email
you
and
buy or
follow up
die.
until you tell them to get wrecked, or until you hit unsubscribe on everything, delete your Zillow account, change your name, grow a mustache. like it is tenacious.
Yeah.
Now, say you are one of the brave few that says contact agent, you get a hold of a real person. That real person is able to form complete sentences and schedules a showing for you and takes you out to the house that you saw on Zillow.
And has you sign a buyer's agreement?
Well, historically, no. You could just show up, cowboy up, baby.
Really?
Like, yeah, just it's like Craigslist. And
That's scary.
yeah, I know. It's oh my gosh. So now that this is where the hiccup is because you have buyer's agency agreements, which I mean, I kind of like them because it gives everyone, like, imagine you're looking at this house, it's on your saved list, and you've been looking at it for like 3 or 4 weeks, and you finally build up enough courage to be like, you know what, we're doing it, man. Let's go. We're gonna go buy it right now. And you get all fired up, and you contact hey, I want to get into this house, and the person's like, okay, cool. Have you talked with a lender yet? Are you pre-approved? Have you looked at the numbers?
Right.
Are you like, where are you at in your process? Or they'll just be like, sure, let's go. Let's see it.
Yeah.
And you go out there, you meet a stranger. The stranger could be great. Let's say, for instance, they're not all that great.
Yeah.
Say, for instance, they just happen to have a spare $1,500 and they decided to throw it at that zip code, and you decided to call in, which is so common.
Yeah.
So common.
Yeah.
And so this person doesn't know you. You don't know them. They don't really have your best interest at heart. The only thing, or they could be cool.
Right.
But you don't know.
They
if
need
have
ROI on the dollars they just spent, though.
Yeah,
So they're trying to make a sale.
Yeah. And we'll get into like maybe some estimates on what people are paying for these Zillow leads in a few minutes. But basically, you meet this person out there, say they give you a one-time showing agreement. It's not very punitive. It lets them show you the house legally. They don't know you. They don't know what you want. They don't know where you're coming from.
There was no initial buyer consult,
No.
say,
No.
hey, like you would normally do. If you just met a client right now and say, hey, we need to sit down for an initial buyer consult.
Yeah.
Then we're going to start showing you properties, right?
Yeah. We have to sort through this.
And the pre-approval part, when you mentioned that earlier, I think people need to know this. Like when you're telling people to get pre-approved, it's not because you don't think they qualify for financing.
Yeah.
It's not for, to whether they qualify or not. It's for clarity on the numbers, right?
But not just on the numbers, but property type, because we just like in
that
like
too.
our previous episode,
yeah.
we just talked about government-backed loans have restrictions on property type. Like, bro, I have no idea what you're trying to do here.
Right.
You just said house tomorrow, 5 p.m. Like,
and you see some online calculator says 1,500, but when you get the real numbers, it finds out it's 2,000. Now you're like, oh, this is 2,000 a month. I can't afford this.
Exactly.
Why are you even looking at this house
or
if
it's
it's
a
out of your price range?
that's pre-foreclosure and you're going VA. Like, that's not going to work.
Not going to work. Right.
Like, I really.
So it's clarity. Yeah. I mean,
my biggest thing is loan product. The loan product has to match the person in the house.
Right. And I think some people, like when they hear pre-approval, like, because I've heard real estate agents tell me this before. Well, I don't really make them get pre-approved at first until we've looked at a couple houses. And I'm like, man, you have to be able to communicate that when you're trying to help them.
Yeah.
Dial in what their real price range is and what they're happy about.
Phrase. We can't be. We got to come up with a phrase that's not pre-qualified or like pre-approved.
Pre-approved.
It should be like, have you done your finance consult yet?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah. Have we?
Mortgage consultation is what I call it.
There you go.
Yeah, like it's
nice.
a mortgage consultation.
Yeah. I'm gonna start saying that. We're gonna revamp that verbiage.
Yeah.
But anyway,
hopefully it makes it a little less scary. I don't know if the word consultation scares people. I don't want it to. That's
consult
the idea.
Seems way less strange.
That's what I think. Like, hey, let's have our mortgage
yeah.
consultation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's kind of how I phrase it because that's all it is, right? Like it's consultation so we can gather information and try to prescribe the right medicine for you. Like at the end of the day, you know
Absolutely.
what I mean? So
we're the house doctors, man.
Yeah.
So,
that patent's pending already on that name.
There you go. So this buyer Zillow process, like you've clicked the button, you've gone through the system, you've got the spam, you've connected with the stranger, you've met them out there, you're trying to on the fly understand this stuff. And a lot of people think that it'll connect you to a listing agent. It's not going to. It'll connect you to a buyer's agent. And
So do you copy and paste the address and then put that into Google and then try to find the actual listing agent on another website?
Yeah, I mean, well, so this is the thing: is the listing agent's information is on the listing.
Yeah, it's just
If you,
down below.
if you,
Yeah,
so
it has to be legally, right?
It does, or at least the brokerage name.
Yeah.
So there has to be
Somewhere hidden in there.
Yeah, so there's the big button that's talk to an agent. Then there's another button that says schedule a showing. And then the bottom, it goes property details. And then it goes the listing details, which is that paragraph that everybody wrote with AI that's like, welcome home.
Yeah.
And then below that, in very tiny text, if you look at it, it'll be right next to the saves and views and days on Zillow. There's those 3 little number blocks.
Yeah.
Right underneath that, in the smallest, annoyingest text possible, will be listed by so-and-so brokerage with a phone number.
Right.
That's the listing agent. Now, contacting the listing agent directly could be good. It could be bad. Working with a buyer's agent is also good or bad.
Yeah.
It all depends on who the agent is. If there's a
But do you think that if somebody's a buyer, do they want the buyer agent they met on Zillow, or do they want to ask a friend in their family first, or does it matter? Like, what do you think?
I think everybody should try a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I don't think that putting your number into the meat grinder is an effective way to find a real estate professional.
Yeah.
I think Zillow has a agents tab that has all of the current agents that have accounts with Zillow, and you can just scroll through them based off of the service area.
Yeah.
And you can go look at their reviews.
Yeah.
And then you can maybe cross-reference that with Google. And you could say, if it's like, say, for instance, like I have an account with Zillow, right? Obviously, it's a huge platform.
Sure,
so that's how we
should.
do business.
Yeah, if you're a real estate agent,
Of course.
you have to.
Yeah. And so, like, you go into the directory, you'll see me pop up. It's be like Austin Coots, Compass and Key Group, a real broker. Sweet. All right. Well, he's got good reviews. He looks like he's, able to form complete sentences. He's got a pulse. Let's maybe check out another platform, right?
Yeah.
So you Google Austin Coots Realtor. You're going to pop up my business page. You'll see our Google My Business page. You'll see all of the reviews we have there.
Yeah.
Our company website. And all the other, maybe some past performance stuff what we have going on.
A couple extra minutes of due diligence online.
It literally
with your thumbs.
3 minutes.
Yeah.
3 minutes is all you need.
With your phone and your thumbs.
Finding your agent online is not bad. I encourage it because
and I didn't mean online. I guess I just meant through the Zillow.
Going through
pipeline.
the meat grinder is not a good way because you're just going to get bombarded. They take your information and they auto assign it to a person, and your information stays with that agent.
Yeah.
If you go to that showing and you have a bad showing, then like you're kind of stuck unless you go initiate contact for a house that is outside of that coverage area. That will reset who the agent gets assigned to.
Gotcha.
But oftentimes if that agent's in both coverage areas, like you got it, dude. Like you kind of, this person, if you're trying to use this platform to find an agent, like if you're waiting for an auto assign, it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
I think that instead of waiting for the system to assign you, you should sift through what agents are available and, who has good reviews. And not just like who has the most 5-star reviews, but also read a few of the reviews, dude.
Read the actual,
how current are they? Is it just a bunch of blank 5 stars, or is it a bunch of clients that had such a good experience that they're going through and thoughtfully
they're able to write something? Yeah.
And just as a frame of reference for this Zillow process, because this does not sound very palatable to most people. People just want to look at the damn house.
I know.
They don't want to get thrown through the meat grinder. And Realtor.com is the same way. So is Homes.com. Homes.com is terrible. Is
it no different than Zillow?
It's
or isn't
their
their
payout structure is different.
Yeah.
But same basic principle.
They're going through. They're spending a lot of money on advertising.
Homes.com is connecting you directly to the listing agent. That's the thing. And they are selling these premium $1,000 a month subscriptions to Homes.com so that you can get people that are calling you on your listings.
Gotcha.
But it's not high quality stuff. They just what they're doing is they scrape people's private information off of trafficked websites using black magic and technology, and they kind of just steal your information and give it to people. So it's pretty bad.
That's cool.
Allegedly. But really what you should keep in mind is like if you're out shopping for a house, if you fall in love with a house, favorite it on Zillow. Like use it as maybe a shopping tool. But if you're trying to get into the house, A real estate agent has to be the one to let you in, and unless it's for sale by owner, and then shop for the individual that you want to work with. Like sift around a little bit, see who's got a good review, see who's maybe fits your speed. You know, if you want, want a young guy or you want.
But if they got to pay
gal,
the buyer's agent fee, should they be shopping for your fee, lower fee too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Commoditize me, my man. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. That's super insensitive. I'm going to cry. No, I mean, the buyer's agent compensation, that's going to be a discussion that you have with the agent before you go set out.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to go sign your buyer's agent compensation form. And if, you're going to read it. And if you've selected your real estate individual appropriately, because you've sifted through the reviews, this person's good to go. They're working, they're current, they have active current listings. Their most current review isn't 18 months old.
Yeah.
It's like 2 days, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, sweet, man. This is legit. That person's going to sit you down and do a buyer's consult. They're going to make sure that you've had your finance consultation. And they're going to go over the buyer's agent compensation forms and say, hey, this is what we charge. We charge X amount of percentage. And if the seller is willing to offer that on your behalf, cool. If not, then it will be your responsibility to cover the difference.
Right.
As it should be.
Yeah.
But that's just not most people's Zillow experience. They see the house, they click the button, they get connected to a rando.
They just think it's, hey, I can click the button, go see the house. That's all I want to do.
And if we're going to bring client welfare into this, and we're thinking about,
which we should.
Yeah, and this is just the process, right? This is just how Zillow makes their money. This is how they connect you. This is how you're going to get sifted through the system. But think about this. If you're wanting a real estate agent to not sell you a house so they can get a commission check, and you're really looking for an advisor that cares about you in the long term, keep in mind how much skin in the game a lot of these people have and brokerages have that spend money on Zillow leads. We don't live in a huge market. I think we had 3,900 active listings as of 2 days ago in Hardin County.
Okay.
There's 3,900 active listings. I could be wrong on that, like I normally am with numbers, but some around there. Yeah. So well over 3,000.
Okay.
Which is not a ton. Elizabethtown has 40,000 people in it. Hardin County has 100,000.
100K.
Yeah, 100K. Which is kind of small.
Yeah.
The Elizabethtown zip code for 2 leads, this is 2 Zillow leads per month, is $1,500 a month.
For 2?
For 2.
Good Lord.
$750 a lead per month.
That's
this
insane.
is just to get the call. And it's not even guaranteed. You could get 1.5 calls a month. Now, if you are, multiply that by, I think it was averaging like 50 or 60 leads a month. So, I mean, multiply that by, like it's stupid. Like you can spend $15,000, $20,000 per zip code. There are brokerages that operate in our market that have budgets monthly anywhere between $15,000 and $25,000 a month.
Yeah.
And so think of the overhead that these people are paying to get your information.
Yeah, to buy your data.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what we're talking about. We're just talking about buying data, right?
Yeah.
To convert that and to make you a transaction.
Yeah.
To turn you into a transaction.
And some of the brokerages have I'm thinking of a few off the top of my head that have really good people.
Yeah, a lot of these people are going to, absolutely.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, if you're thinking of your welfare and the person you're choosing to be your guide, think of the skin in the game that they have. Like they need to close deals. Otherwise,
they've got to get you closed because they're paying so much money for your data.
Otherwise, they go away.
And they need you to buy or die.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And so this doesn't affect our market as much now.
Yeah.
So what I've just described is the Zillow Premier structure. So this is Zillow Premier Agent.
Yeah.
That's the pay per lead, basically, program. There's another program that's newer, and it's making its way across the country. They're doing it in big markets first.
And we may have to get into that in the next one.
Yeah.
So we're running short here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like to bring this full circle now, like what's your advice to people? Like, you know what I mean? Like we'll get into some of this and other aspects of it. This is how intricate the
Yeah.
whole Zillow monster is.
Yeah.
But I think like what I'm hearing you say is that if you're a buyer in this market, it's already like this whole process can be scary enough. And
Yeah.
so going into it, like obviously you want to increase your chances to have people that are working for you that have your best interest at heart.
Yeah.
Right.
If
And
if you're a buyer shopping for a home, and this goes to any buyer, and you're shopping online, you're shopping on Zillow, look at houses, window shop all you want. But when it comes to that, boots on the ground, actually making movement towards the transaction, you need to make people moves to get the people around you that need to be around you. And that goes, take the real estate out of it. How would you go about getting the right people for anything? You talk to people that you trust. And you also look at reviews. You shop around. You
online
look at
reviews. Go to Google. Go to the other sites, especially Google.
Google reviews aren't bad.
I like Google review. I like it more than Zillow reviews personally, because Zillow that's the thing. They've got skin in the game for them to promote those people. Like Google is almost just a third party, like uninterested, like third party in a sense.
Love-hate relationship. Yeah. Anybody can write a Google review.
Yeah.
Zillow reviews are vetted. So they tie the review to a transaction.
Okay.
So that means that every Zillow review out there
that's
attached to someone who has been verified.
Yeah.
Zillow if there's no transaction to attach it to, they contact the person to verify that they're real and that the interaction was authentic.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they bounce it off of the MLS data to make sure that it was an authentic review. So there is another
people just
layer.
need to do the research, man, like at the end of the day. So, and we'll get into some of the other Zillow stuff, but like I think that gives people great insight into like knowing like, hey man, when you go on Zillow, you start clicking buttons, like you are now a commodity and a high dollar commodity, and that person on the other end may not necessarily have your best interest at heart. Although we know a lot of people, like we work with clients that come through Zillow all the time.
Yeah.
And, so there you can get with good people, like there's no doubt. But it's kind of a dice roll. You know what I mean? Like
their system is bright and pretty and cheerful, and it's like, ding, we can do this tomorrow.
Yeah, because they've paid like that. All that stuff has been carefully analyzed. It's just the same with Amazon, man, to know where the buttons are put. So yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about getting into Zillow Flex a little bit. So what I just outlined was the Zillow Premier agent structure, right? So and that is the pay per lead, zip code by zip code. Anybody can make an account and put some money in and get leads. Now, there's a new program that's coming across. It's called Zillow Flex. It's not in every market, but it's in the big markets. So Zillow Flex operates a little bit differently, so for instance, anybody can go into Premier, make an account, and start generating some business, getting some people in there. It's kind of pay as you go.
Right.
Zillow Flex is invite only. Okay. So they require you to, it's like you need a team, group of people, and they look at your stuff and they're like, okay, only you can be Zillow Flex. And there's only one Zillow Flex team per market.
It's the name Flex. It's like a flex. You know what I mean?
Go, dude. So with Zillow Flex, it's supposed to be like flexible because you don't pay as you go. Gotcha. All right. So you don't have to pay up front anymore for leads. And these are supposed to be super vetted leads.
Okay.
They're leads that have been contacted. And so they're kind of just like ready to go when they get to you. And it's a very prestigious thing to get to be a Zillow. Yeah. I'm going to make a meme. It's going to be Arnold. So there are the flex teams, right? And so they're invite only. There's only one per market, or they're very selective with how many they get into a market. And all of the good leads go to the Zillow Flex and in the markets, and they kind of do the lower brow ones to the Premier now. So for instance,
these are the Glengarry leads.
Yeah.
Might be too young for that reference.
Yeah. I'm just going to pretend like I know what you're talking about.
Coffees for closers.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. All right. So for instance, take Seattle. Seattle started off at Premier. Right. Pay as you go.
Zillow's corporate offices.
Yeah. So, and then they introduced Zillow Flex, higher quality leads. But the catch is that you pay a referral fee to Zillow. It's no longer a flat amount that you pay for the lead per month and you keep the commission. They take a percentage of your commission.
Right.
I think it's like now it's at 40%.
Right.
Zillow takes 40% of the commission and says like, yeah, that's mine now, homie. For those leads. Okay.
Yeah.
Now
when they close.
when they close.
Yeah.
And so with starting at Premier, then they introduced Flex. They called it what's called a hybrid market, where they have Zillow, Flex, and Premier operating in the same market. After a while, I think it was a year ago, they shut off Premier entirely, meaning that the only Zillow leads.
You just got an email that said, "Sorry, no more Zillow leads for you." And if your business was completely operating on Premier leads, you got a problem.
Yeah, and so most people in our area don't really even know the difference, what the big deal is, because they don't really watch big markets.
Right.
And Hardin County, Kentucky, everything that happens on the West Coast will eventually happen here 5 years later.
Yeah.
So it's getting bad.
Yeah.
But so when the market goes hybrid, that's kind of the beginning of the end. That's bad for realtors that build their business off of Zillow.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's
especially
also
if
really
it's entirely built off Zillow.
Yeah.
And not just a part of.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is
all your eggs are in that basket.
It's bad for the consumer because the market is no longer free.
Right.
Meaning that the only people that get these invites are Zillow people. Now, the other caveat to using Zillow Flex is you have to use their CRM. You have to use Follow Up Boss.
Yeah.
And so this is just another way to track your data, track your activity. So they know what houses you're looking at. They know how frequently you log in. They know which ones you have saved. They know
so if
how
you're a
much
buyer listening to this now, you should be super creeped out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They know how long you sit. They know how long you viewed a listing.
Yeah.
So like how long you're dwelling on it, how many pictures you swiped on. They know it all. And it's not good. So Zillow Premier, it's plus or minuses. It's misleading on how they connect you to an agent because some people, actually a lot of people think they're getting connected to a listing agent. They're not. Some of the agents don't even live in that market. They just buy leads in that market.
Yeah.
So it is a little misleading. But I kind of like the free aspect market of it where anybody with a real estate license, $500 in a dream can go buy a couple of leads and start putting in some work and building their client base and doing a good job.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Zillow Flex system makes everyone beholden to the Zillow system. And when I say everyone, it's agents and consumers, meaning that the agent is, these Zillow leads are awesome. That's all I really care about now. And the consumer is, this Zillow shopping format's super awesome. This is the only place I want to shop for houses now. Where else am I going to go for an agent? They want to put blinders on you as an agent and as a consumer so that you're not looking at other platforms and you're not doing any other diligence because it's so nip and tuck on how the process works. It's all in-house.
Yeah.
The same thing with Zillow home loans, right?
Yeah.
So especially for the Flex leads, they try to push people into their Zillow home loans, which is, you talked about it with Rocket Mortgage or other big box national companies. You are a number. You are a product.
Yeah. 100%.
So that's just something to keep in mind, especially for the people in our market. As we're looking at how Zillow Premier can work and how information is getting shared. Because that's what I'm thinking about is I'm thinking about how is the average person finding the house that they want to buy? How's the average person finding the agent that they want to work with? And how are agents and lenders and home sellers connecting with the other side of the transaction? And it seems to be a little bit more two-way, like we can explore a little bit, there's some options and we can go shop around. But with this Zillow Flex system that works in this way, you're tightening the noose, in my opinion. You're making it extremely hard for people to form objective opinions. And the other thing is think the agent that has become completely dependent on Zillow leads and doesn't know how to generate any business anywhere else. And mind you, it kind of makes you lazy because you don't have to go 100%. Hunt for it. You don't have to go shopping around. You don't have to really know your market all that much. Person says, house tomorrow, 5 o'clock.
You don't have to do more work, additional or work that maybe more work that you do to excel at what you do.
Which provides better value for the person. Because
absolutely for the buyer.
100%. So, and something to really put this into perspective for how this applies to our life here, Jefferson County went hybrid this spring.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So the
Yeah.
writing's on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Louisville, Kentucky went hybrid this spring. I think Lexington went
Those
hybrid.
flex companies will eventually be Zillow real estate.
Yeah. Yeah.
They'll try to convert them into a Zillow real estate company, and all these markets will have Zillow real estate companies.
They tried to do it before.
Yeah.
They tried.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like if you go look at one of the failed ventures of Zillow, they tried iBuyer program where you could do the whole transaction inside
and they
Zillow.
they used all these leads they sold to real estate agents to fund that venture. So they used their money to try to push them out of the business. I've been telling real estate agents this for years, man.
And this may just sound like we're kind of harping, we're like small business owners kind of harping on the big guy that has a like
maybe
really,
a little.
And it is, but and as a consumer, you may be thinking like, wow, this sucks for you, but I don't care.
Yeah,
you should.
True. You should.
And this is why is that somebody's got to let you in that house.
Right.
Somebody's got to write the contract.
Yeah.
And if the only information you are getting, it's like getting your news from Facebook.
Right.
If the only information that you're getting is coming from the company that is designed to harvest you, then you are not making any of the big money decisions that we've been talking about up until this point.
Right.
Any of the long-term equity decisions, any of the big down payment stuff, the custom cut real estate experience that makes you money,
you're not getting
and sets you up for success. You're not,
and ensures that you have a good
that.
experience.
Yeah.
You know?
No, you are getting the retail cookie cutter, move along, good sir, and take your pittance of an experience and take your pittance of equity.
Yeah.
Because you're not getting the deal. You're not having the true skilled negotiator. You're not connecting with a person that can resonate with you on a personal level. So many military members use Zillow. And it's not beneficial for them because they're just getting connected to any Tom, Dick, and Harry that'll open the house, versus there's a whole industry nationwide of veteran real estate agents that know the game and that not just know how to work it to the service members' advantage, but they also care.
Right.
And so if you're getting sucked into this big box of the Zillow only, or like, oh, I just love shopping on Zillow, like, use the tool, but understand that when you like, there's a line.
That's what we're trying to show you.
Yeah.
Understand, not saying don't use Zillow. We're saying understand what you're getting into.
Yeah. There's a line. There is the use it for the free stuff.
Yeah.
And then the point to where you start using them for the real movement.
Right.
That's when you stop using the tool and you start becoming what's getting used.
Yeah.
So
well put.
And so I would really just encourage everyone to be conscious of the people that they're working with.
Yeah.
And have some of these conversations too, because with the Zillow Premier stuff, you pay an exorbitant amount of money per month, right? You know what you're allowed to do as a real estate agent when you're purchasing leads through Zillow is you're allowed to share that cost 50-50 with a lender.
Yeah.
Okay. That lender gets that information too.
Right.
Okay. So when you connect with agent on Zillow and you say, oh, looking at buying this house, the agent says, hey, have you had your financial consultation yet?
Yeah.
And you're like, no. And you're like, oh, I got this guy who'll do a good job. Oh, super cool. All that stuff. Cool. Send me his number. We'll talk.
Yeah.
Do we know that the person he's referring you to is
the best guy,
paying half of his Zillow budget?
And if he
is that relationship disclosed? Is it required to be? No, it's not. You don't have to talk about the marketing relationship you have with lenders that you're providing referrals to. As long as you're within the RESPA guidelines it's not pay to play, technically, but you can share marketing costs up to 50%.
Right.
So like you can collaborate in that way. Yeah. But when you have a $20,000 Zillow budget and you have a lender ponying up 10 G's monthly,
is that agent going to send that deal to the lender who's paying them, or are they going to send them to the lender they know is going to be the best for them?
Yeah, exactly. And
that may not be the same thing.
And is that but the other thing is when the lender pays for that Zillow budget to be their featured lender on Zillow, they get access to that information whether the realtor sends it to them or not. Yeah. Because the lender has a Zillow Premier account. So all of the leads that get put in through their Zillow relationship gets sent to them as well. That's why it doesn't violate RESPA guidelines, is you both get the same lead at the same time.
Data,
So it doesn't matter if the dude, refers you over there or not. That lender's got your info. So he can hit you up and be like, hey, looking at this house, let's get you pre-approved, baby.
Yeah.
And at varying degrees of success.
Yeah.
But you got to keep a lot of this stuff in mind, is where is this advice really coming from?
Yeah.
Am I referring this stuff to you because, this is the true like opinion that I have? Like, I really think that is this lender on my Zillow profile, or is this lender working with me because he's the best and I'm the best? Or is he working with me because he's got money and he wants my leads?
Yeah.
And how many, and people don't know to ask because they don't even know this stuff exists. But I mean, when you're getting referred out, when you're getting referred to anyone, whether it's a lender, whether it's a home insurance guy, ask what the nature of that relationship is.
Yeah.
If I, a real estate agent, and talk to, John Smith, and I'm just like, hey man, you should really talk with Ryan. He's a great lender. We have really good experience with him. He'll do a good job. At the very least, he'll give you a great consult, and the process will be more illuminated.
Right.
And you ask me, hey, what's the relationship between you and Ryan? Mm-hmm. It'll be easy.
Yeah.
Like, I've worked with Ryan ever since I got my real estate license. We've done countless deals together.
Right.
I got my own personal home loan through him, for which was an amazing experience, because I've gotten a VA home loan through multiple different lenders before, and he by far was the best experience. And on top of that, I know for a fact that Ryan and his team care more about the individual than anyone that I've worked with.
Right.
And they have the tools to make it happen.
Right.
And we also advertise on Zillow together sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's the long and the short end of the story.
That's real honesty.
Yeah.
That's legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, and I think that people would ask those questions if they knew to ask it.
Right.
But if you're, watching this as like a little clip, or you sat through the whole boring, nerdy Zillow episode, and boil this down to basically ask one more question.
Yeah.
I tell my agents and the folks that I, try and train up all the time, dig deeper one extra time.
Right.
Ask where this is coming from. Ask say why.
Yeah.
And if people get offended at that, you're probably working with the wrong people.
Yeah.
And any person that's working with you on something should be able to break down the why of what they're doing. Why am I referring you to this person?
Yeah.
Why am I recommending this house over that house? Why am I saying that we should start here versus starting there?
Buyers don't get offended when we're asking you why. It's for your betterment.
Yeah. And
but people do, man. I get
too.
buyers all the time. They're like, why does it matter? And they get defensive immediately. And I'm 100%. Like, dude,
thank you for asking me why that matters, because
Yeah.
I've wanted to explain this to you in detail for like 20 minutes, So like you can ask why all day long, and we will detail this thing to death.
Yeah.
If that's what it takes to make you comfortable with the journey that you're about to go on.
Yeah.
And I think that should be the mark. And there's tons of real estate professionals out there that are going to do this work too.
Yeah.
But us particularly, I think that we really put a extra fine point on making sure that all of the I's are dotted, all of the T's are crossed before we start putting anything anywhere.
Yeah.
So
right on, brother.
yeah, that's my 2 cents on our Zillow rabbit hole, and I hope it was informative.
Yeah. Love it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. All right, folks. Hope y'all got something out of this.
There you go.
We'll wrap there.
Yeah, wrap it up, man.
Cool.
See you
All right,
next time,
brother.
guys.
See you. Peace.
See ya.